Last week we showed you how we teach our babies to lead. This week we thought we would continue from there and show you how we teach our babies to pick up their feet. We thought we'd make this a little more informal, so McKenna will be jumping in and talking. So the first thing you'll notice, we like to make sure that they are used to being touched. So obviously Sarge here has been touched a lot, but we'll go ahead and pick up his foot. And as long as he's holding his leg still, I'm going to let his foot down. But if he tries to pull it away, I'm going to hold it until he quits fighting. And then I will set it down. So there, you can see he was very good about just setting his foot down without pulling it away. Same thing with the back. As long as he holds his foot, I'm going to just hold it for a minute and then we'll set it down. So whatever you've done on one side, you need to make sure you also do it on the other side. A horse can be good on one side, but have problems on the other side. So you want to make sure you spend equal time on both sides of the horse. So as you can see, I'm continuing to desensitize the right side of the horse as well as the left side.
So while we were out there, we figured we'd use some of the other babies as more examples. And this horse has had a little bit less handling time than Sarge. You can see he still does pretty well, but the desensitization still is in full force, just making sure that they're used to being touched and also that you only drop their foot when they're not fighting.
And if you'll notice, my hand right there went up over his rear end to the other side. And that's because he started pulling away hard enough that he looked like he was going to jump sideways. And so I put my hand up there to kind of push his weight back in towards me so that he wasn't hopping away. This little guy was a little bit worried about having his feet picked up. We haven't worked with him on his feet for a little while, and he kind of wanted to forget what he had already learned. So he's a little bit flinchy. We're running our arms down his leg, getting him so he's accepting of the touching. And then I'll go down and pick up his foot, and he should be good there. And if he fights at all, I'm going to hold it until he gives, but he was really good. And he's going to be a little flinchy on his back end. Step around. That's where the handler in the front is good to hold them. After they've learned to lead, that person in front can be invaluable because he can keep the colt from getting away from you or whatever. So yeah, he's fighting me just a bit there. And then when he quits fighting, I set his foot down.
I want to say, too, with that, you don't have to hold their foot up for very long at all, especially when you're first starting. As you can see, as soon as the baby stops fighting, mom just sets it right back down.
And you can see I'm rubbing him between his legs, giving him a belly rub, flank rub down his hind leg. And he picked his foot up there because he didn't like that, not because he was being a nice, obedient boy. But he's holding his foot there. I did put my hand across his rump just to get his weight from shifting off too far away from me.
Another reason and benefit that picking up their feet is so good at this age is that you can kind of simulate what a farrier will do when he picks up their foot to pound nails. Obviously, still the desensitization process is still going on, but you're able to pat the bottom of their hoof and get them ready for when the farrier will come.
And I don't know about you, but I prefer to work with them at this age and size than when they're 2 or 3 years old and they don't even know what's going on.
So, the three main takeaways from this video and from our session with these colts tonight would be that the first thing you need to do is remember that this is a desensitization process for them. They are not used to having things touching them, and so this is kind of your chance to really get them comfortable with your hand all over their legs, all over their belly.
The second thing is to make it quick. When they stop struggling, then you can set their foot down and move on.
Which brings us to the third point, which is make them putting down their foot your idea. If they're trying to take their foot away from you, you hold on to it until they decide to stop. So we hope this was helpful. If you have questions or if you decide to try any of these things and put them to use, let us know how it goes. And we will see you next week.